Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets echo, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
It is my privilege to introduce our special guest, Brigadier General Joe Lear with the Kentucky Army National Guard. General Lear serves as the Director of Joint Staff, which is a senior military officer. He's responsible for assisting the Kentucky's adjutant general in managing and coordinating activities between different branches to provide effective support to both state and federal missions. I didn't really know what that meant, so I had to ask, and he explained that his boss is answering directly to our governor. He has served in the military for 37 years. His father was in the Air Force. He had 3 uncles that served in the military, and they currently have a son serving in the National Guard in eastern Kentucky. Out of 2,000 full colonels, only about 35 become generals. General Lear is quite accomplished in his military career, earning a combat infantry badge and 2 Bronze Stars. He will share with us a few of his career accomplishments and will give us some encouraging words to our veterans. So please give a warm welcome to our distinguished guest, Brigadier General Joe.
Family, friends, and most importantly, our veterans, good evening. Barbara, thank you for that kind introduction, and I also like to thank you for inviting me here to speak tonight. We're here to honor and celebrate all the men and women who served in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard, who swore an oath to protect and defend our freedoms and served proudly and distinctly in the major conflicts our nation has faced. I'd like to talk to you tonight about the burdens veterans carry. My hope is that by sharing my experiences, I may be able to help others. I have PTSD. There's an author and motivational speaker named David Grossman. He's a lieutenant colonel, retired. He taught psychology at the United States Military Academy at West Point, and I've read a few of his books and seen him speak. He compares PTSD to being overweight. Some people are slightly overweight, some are morbidly obese. I'm in the 5 to 10 pounds over category on the PTSD scale. I wake up very quickly. I don't like large crowds. I like to sit with my back to the wall in public places. Fortunately, my wife Serena puts up with all my quirks. I am aware of my PTSD, and I work to recognize when I'm affected by it and I have some techniques I've learned to help myself. In 2006 and 2007, I commanded an infantry company in Baghdad, Iraq. This was a few months before the surge, during the surge, and after the surge. Prior to going to Iraq, I read two of Grossman's books. One of them's named On Killing, and the other one's On Combat. On Killing is about the psychological trauma experienced by extended combat and killing. On Combat is about the psychological and physiological effects of combat on warriors. I made them both required reading for my platoon leaders and my platoon sergeants, and we discussed them. Grossman talks about the physical effects a person may experience during the high stress of combat. Examples include things like auditory exclusion. That's where you may fire your weapon, you feel the recoil, you may even hear the round eject, but you won't hear the shot. Hyper-focus or tunnel vision. It's very narrow, no peripheral vision, and it's almost like a zoom lens. There's time distortion. That's where everything seems to be in slow motion. And my personal favorite, loss of conditioned behaviors like bladder and sphincter control. Basically, your brain doesn't waste any energy on anything not needed for survival. He has many more examples and goes into great detail about how these are normal physical reactions to an abnormal situation. His argument is that knowing that these things are possible helps to lessen the impact when they occur. So I'm going to tell you a war story. We were conducting a cordon search of a local marketplace in a Baghdad neighborhood called Al-Farah. Kind of think of like a farmer's market or a flea market. It wasn't a market day, so it was pretty much deserted. We've been set and we're conducting searches of the booths for about 20 minutes when we came under direct fire. Now the Army has a battle drill called rapid contact. You drop to the ground, you seek cover, and you return fire. We practice it over and over again, and it works really well. I was on the ground behind a low cinder block wall before I even knew it. That's when I began to experience some of the physical effects I mentioned above: tunnel vision and time distortion. I watched as 3 rounds struck a cinder block wall in front of me, about 3 meters in front of me. I saw little clouds of dust explode from them. I saw the concrete crumble and fall out of it, like in slow motion. And I thought, Grossman told me this was going to happen. And as soon as I realized that, it all stopped. I was instantly able to function, doing all the things a combat leader needs to do. Just knowing that these were normal reactions to an abnormal event lessened the trauma caused by them. That's also when I realized Grossman was correct about the bladder control. He says, and I agree, there are 2 types of people who've been in close quarters combat: those who soil themselves and those who lie about it. One good thing about the heat in Iraq, everything dries really quick. Instead of being confused or embarrassed by my physical effects I experienced, I know I'm normal. My hope is by sharing my experiences to help other veterans understand what they have experienced and that they are normal too. Grossman also says, joy shared is joy multiplied, and trauma shared is trauma divided. If I share my good news with you, my joy is increased. If I share my trauma with you, my part of that burden is lessened. I highly recommend reading Lieutenant Colonel Dave Grossman's books or visiting his websites. I also recommend the website militaryonesource.mil. Military One Source from the Department of Defense is your 24/7 gateway to trusted information, resources, and confidential help. It's a great source of information all in one place for veterans. These are resources and benefits that you have earned, so please use them. Veterans Day is important. It's a special day. In the future, we must continue to keep it special through celebration and heartfelt appreciation for our veterans' sacrifices. On this Veterans Day, I ask us not to just say the words, "Thank you for your service," but to reflect on their service and their sacrifice for us. Let us remember in our hearts and minds the service members that have paid the ultimate sacrifice. Let us honor the brave men and women who have previously served with distinction and those that continue to serve in uniform. To veterans, to our fallen patriots and their families, there is no tribute, no commemoration, and no praise that can truly match the magnitude of their service and sacrifice. And that's probably not the speech you were expecting tonight, but thank you for indulging me and giving me the opportunity to speak with you. May God bless the veterans, their families, and all that are assembled here today. And may God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Could I have all the veterans please come up and join us? Tell us your name, your rank, and your branch of service. Each of you are important. We want to know you by name. So, General, if you'll come with me, we just want to shake your hand, find out who you are.
Bob Harder, United States Army Sergeant.
Christy Smollett, U.S. Army, E4.
Will Clark, U.S. Army Reserves, Private First Class.
General Clark, E4, United States Army.
Philip Spencer, United States Army, Special Dispatch.
Chet Bertrand, Spec 4, 82nd Airborne Army.
You all know Mary Flowers, and she has prepared a table over here that has some information and resource material if you're interested. If there's something that you would like to know, Mary will be sitting at this table. Feel free to come up and talk with her. She's been a great resource to me in helping prepare these veteran dances, and we just appreciate all that you do. We're going to continue our celebration, but I want to say thank you to Tim and Nina. We're so happy that you let us have this event here. Without their help, we would not be here tonight. Bree, once again, thank you so much. I have a loving thank you for Chet. He contributes so much, and sometimes it seems like he's behind the scenes, but I'm telling you that this would not happen without all that you do. We're going to be celebrating with cake. We'll be bringing some cake out here in just a minute. And we'll have door prizes at 9:30, so stick around. Thank you very much. We so appreciate you being here tonight.